The Tri-ger is a 3-channel pattern recorder and manual gate that features play-pause, mute, drum roll, and retrigger functions. Its subdividable clock output allows for humanistic patterns to be performed and looped in time with the rest of your system, placing it in stark contrast to grid-based rhythm generators and clock dividers. Each arcade button can be used for loop recording or manual gates and has a corresponding gate output. Voltage will be held high for as long as the corresponding arcade button is illuminated. To record a new loop, hold down the Alt button and then press the Record button. All record mute indicators will begin to blink red, showing that the Tri-ger is ready to record a new loop. Once the first arcade button is hit, all record mute indicators will stop blinking and illuminate red as the Tri-ger starts to record. When recording new loops, the bar beat indicators will reflect the current length of the recording in relation to how much recording time is left. Press the Record button once more to stop recording and the new loop will begin playback. To punch and record, press the Record button and start playing on the desired channel. Press the Record button again to stop recording and the newly recorded pattern will play back with the rest of the loop. The corresponding channel's record mute indicator will illuminate red, showing that the destructive overdubbing of the desired channel is in progress. For shorter overdubbed patterns, the Record button may be held down while recording additional rhythms. Recording stops on the release of the Record button. To mute and unmute specific channels, hold down the Alt button and then press the corresponding channel buttons. When an indicator is off, the corresponding channel is muted. Green illumination indicates that the corresponding channel is active. Manual gates will still function when the corresponding channel's pattern is muted. The Tri-ger's clock rate is determined by the length of the recorded loop and the clock division knob. The subdividable clock will start as soon as a newly recorded loop begins to play. The master clock can be multiplied and divided with the clock division knob and its unipolar positive CV input. If the clock division knob is far left, then the clock rate will be the largest possible rhythmic derivative of the loop. If the clock division knob is far right, then the clock rate will be the shortest possible rhythmic derivative. These values are dependent on the length of the recorded loop. Control voltage is added to the current pop position. Drum rolls can be added to user-defined channels with the roll button and its gate input. The rate of the drum rolls is set by the roll rate knob and its unipolar positive CV input. If the roll rate knob is far left, then the drum rolls will be as slow as possible. If the roll rate knob is far right, then the drum rolls will be as fast as possible. The drum roll function is not quantized to the master clock and will not necessarily be rhythmically related. Control voltage is added to the current pop position. By default, all channels have drum rolls enabled. To disable and re-enable drum rolls on specific channels, hold down the Alt button and then double tap the button that corresponds with the desired channel. The playback position can be reset to the beginning of the recorded loop with the Retrigger button and its gate input. The recorded loop can be started and stopped with the play-pause button and its gate input. It is important to note that the Tri-ger will save patterns, play-pause state, playback position, mutes, and enabled drum rolls in between power cycles. The tempo of a recorded loop is set by the tempo knob and its unipolar positive CV input. The original tempo of a recorded loop is defined by the position of the tempo knob during recording. If the tempo knob is far left, then the loop will play as slow as possible. If the tempo knob is far right, then the loop will play as fast as possible. To achieve the largest range of tempo expansion and compression, record a loop with the tempo knob set to center. Control voltage is added to the current pop position. Multiple Tri-gers are infinitely chainable. When chained, the slave unit's loop duration, tempo, and playback state will be synced to the host unit. This allows for 3 more channels per every additional slave Tri-ger. This is done by reconfiguring jumpers and interconnecting cables between host and slaves on the back of each module. It is important to note that channel 2 on all slave Tri-gers cannot be muted or roll disabled. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more tutorials and patch breakdowns.